Hi folks, Rick Mackey here from Get Esoteric. I have some great guests with me tonight. We have Doc Skinner decided to join us tonight. He calls himself the creator of visions and the builder of dreams. He has a YouTube channel called 1028 Productions where he digs into the news of the day and tries to dig into the things that are circulating out there to try to make sense of it all and to bring some like-minded people together on his channel. He believes in community and bringing people together as a way to bring mass awareness to some really tough subjects for the general public to accept. I think that's why he's decided to join us tonight and to get to know others in the community, which is exactly what my channel is all about. We have Steve Cefalo with us, the amazing artist who's also the artist for Corey Good, the graphic novel specifically. David Dennis, the author of the book Torah Legacy, an amazing researcher and lightworker. And Desiree Foley, the most brave and amazing TI whistleblower and researcher. She's also the regional director of the PAX International People Against Covert Torture and Surveillance. So those are the introductions, folks. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
We were supposed to mute ourselves?
You can unmute.
That's a really cool shirt, by the way, Rick.
Thanks.
Those, crop circle formations?
That's exactly what that is. Crop circles, yeah. I don't know which particular one this is, though, but it says on their magic eyes only, so I assume we're all in the know here, so we're good. Looks like we lost Desiree.
She went dark.
Oh, maybe she'll come back.
No, sorry, my dogs were barking. I had to throw them out.
Oh, so. Okay. Well, don't throw them out. Just put them out.
Well, I had to throw them out of the room.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. All right, so I think we can start off with the discussion of what's really been going around a lot lately on the whole censorship situation and what happened to Doc the other day. Maybe Doc can share first a little bit about his background for those that don't know. What he's doing and how he got into the whole disclosure movement, and then go into that.
Okay, well, hi everybody. I'm Doc Skinner with 1028 Live, which is a 1028 production on Facebook and YouTube, recently Twitter. And that's all because last week I was doing a live show. What night was it? I think it was like Friday or Saturday night. And all the stories I was reporting on were already online. They were already on the platforms. I had already earlier in the day taken each of the individual stories and posted them on my wall. That was fine. They're still there. You can still see the stories that I was talking about. But someone had their finger on the button, and right when I was showing a clip of Tucker Carlson talking about the New Way Act, which was proposed right before the CD19 event started, kind of like that $1 trillion budget that no one knew where it was, and the next day 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
So anyway, by the way, I have these moments where I completely blank because I don't sleep much, and I had a stroke a year and a half ago.
Oh,
so
that's fine. You were talking about what's happening with your show the other night, and
yeah. So that happened, and I was showing this clip, which was a 3-month-old Fox News clip, and had been all over the internet. I give credit. I say, this is Fox, this is this, and this is the reporter on this story. When I read the stories, I try to give credit. But the minute I was talking about the New Deal Act or showing that and discussing it, all of a sudden my messages were just popping up at the bottom of my screen, left and right, of my viewers going, "Bro, you're done. They took you down." And I'm like, what?
Wow.
Not realizing. Luckily, I was recording on my hard drive. But one of my viewers had called and said, "Yeah, you're off. They took you down." And there's messages saying, we can't see it, and I'm out of the group, and this and that. They all took snapshots of all these messages and showing blocked and sent them to me, and I was it felt violating. And
wow.
And within the week before that, Rob and Ben from Edge of Wonder were taken down in the middle of their live broadcast.
Yeah.
And like me, not knowing what it could have been, that was
That's
so.
the thing. That's the thing. They
Yeah.
never tell you. They never tell you what it was that you
No.
broke. They say that you broke the rules, but they don't tell you what rule you broke. I mean,
Yeah,
as
they're
far as
vague.
I'm concerned, if you're going to have a company that has rules, a set of rules, and we want to clearly follow those rules, you got to make it clear what kind of. If you're not doing a nefarious thing, you would be open and honest about what it is the rule that you broke, right? And that never seems to happen from all the people that I've been talking to. They never seem to know what it is
Yeah, and
specifically.
I mean,
Right?
some of the people are willing to challenge it, but if for any reason they find that loophole to get you, they'll take you down.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't argue. I'm like, okay, fine, watch. I'll just move on to the next place. So I went over to the Tweeter, as I say, and over to the YouTubes, and like the name of your show, I've been esoteric ever since. Having to use abbreviations or anagrams or something. Rick, did you know I'm you on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm actually
Okay.
broadcasting the. I had to do that to get this working here.
Okay, I was just wondering why. Okay, yeah, because
Yeah, I don't know
that
why it's
one I'm
still-
choppy. The one I'm seeing is smooth. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I gotta take that and fix it. I'm in the middle of fixing it. Sorry.
Oh no worries. I just I feel like Max Headroom on the last show. You guys remember Max Headroom? Dude, he was awesome.
You make it great, Max.
Yeah.
I need a Max Headroom background.
Right, with a movie
Backdrop.
like 80s.
There you go. Now it's fixed.
Anyway, so that all went down, and I felt really violated. So first thing I did was I called Ben Chastain over at Edge of Wonder in New York, and I was like, bro, they just took me down right in the middle of the live show. And he was like, man, yeah, I know they did that to us the other day, and they just took down David Icke and banned him Facebook and YouTube, Twitter. Mike Barra, he got shut down and banned for a bit. I know my friend Brooks Agnew, he was having some issues with certain like not Facebook but website systems and stuff. Things were happening, it wasn't happening. His count rate had gone down, like it was being suppressed. Everybody's been noticing it. Laura Eisenhower, she got her page taken down, and it's a really horrible thing. But I'm honored to be such amongst great people, So, but we're going to try to do something. Hopefully, maybe get us together and see if there's something we can do to break free from these chains that we're all bound by. Because we shouldn't have to sit here. I shouldn't have to say Hom Tanks. Okay?
Exactly.
I shouldn't have to say Pizza Fence.
Yeah.
Or Illuma Donkey. I shouldn't have to do that.
No.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
No offense, Dave. I know you're not sorry, but I'm in America, and I shouldn't have to worry about that. And it's just brainwashed our society. I was telling Rick earlier. I said I had someone who I highly respected in the industry, who I just admired, and I strive to want to work with him on some of these future projects I was going to start doing. And he saw the stuff that I'm talking about, because I stepped away from this. I'm always been into this since way before the X-Files. Fox Mulder was my hero, and then let alone now I come to find I'm friends with John D'Souza. He's coming to Disclosure Con. It's just like it's a crazy world, but
It really
things
is.
are happening, and I've been in it so long. Once you wake up, the longer you're awake, the more you see. One of the clips that was on that episode I got shut off was the clip from They Live, John Carpenter's movie with Roddy Piper with the glasses. He puts it on, he can see everything for what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I've been in the entertainment industry for over 35 years now is that intrigue of knowing what's going on behind the curtain.
Wow.
Because if you didn't know, the entertainment industry is utilized not by everybody. Now let's just get that across, okay? Not everything you see on the TV tubes or the news, or not everything is what it seems. Not everything is real. Not everything's fake. Okay, since the word thing fake news came out, everything's fake if someone doesn't want to believe it.
Right.
And it's just altered our way of thinking. And so this person who I really respected and admired, so I guess one of my shows and unfriended me, and I just found out last night. It was like, but teach their own, life moves on and people will wake up, hopefully, with everything going on. I'm sorry, man. I'm so used to hosting the show by myself. I don't want to hijack the show.
No, this is good. This is what we want to get to know you. This is you're the newcomer, so we want to kind of get to know your story and everything.
So I'll just wrap this up with saying I tried to escape the entertainment industry, came up to the mountain to hide in a cabin, fish or whatever. And then an incident happened up here, and it kind of threw me back into the spotlight. It was on the night of the Trump election. There was a hostage situation with a guy that killed one of our police officers up here, and every agency was up here. They had the Apache helicopter from the National Guard looking for this guy in the woods because it's really woody up here. People think it's the desert. We're not. We're mountains and pine trees. It's awesome. And so they were searching for him, and somehow my two friends and I, we got caught within 2 layers of perimeter, and they let us stay to document it all. So on the night of the Trump election, people were watching that, and then during commercials, they were coming over and watching the standoff. We were documenting. And so my idea of hiding up on the mountain was gone. So I started 1028 Productions and 1028 Live for the mountain, and it kind of just spawned and got bigger worldwide. And then Disclosure Con came along, and I really just dove head deep into the deep end of it all with some of the greatest people in the circles. So that's my elevator pitch of my little story. That's who I am. Let's get it on. Who's next?
Yeah, who wants to throw out an idea of something to dig into here? I do have a list here, but I know, David, you had a bunch of things that you wanted to cover as far as getting his ideas. But I know one new thing was the 6 U.S. officials, including Fauci, in isolation due to the COVID and all of that. The CDC chief and the head of the FDA, apparently, all at the same time coming down with the COVID there. So
Fauci's got it now? Did I miss that?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah,
that's the story.
Fauci,
so the rumors have it.
And there was an article that came out. They're all like head of the CDC and Fauci, someone else too. They're all forced into quarantine because they've been exposed. I don't think it said they have it, but they've been exposed.
Right.
Isn't it kind of funny how all these people that are rumored to be getting in a lot of trouble are all coming down with this or dying from it? And now, don't get me wrong, I love Little Richard, or Little Richard, who the guy that just passed away yesterday. Good golly, Miss Molly.
Oh yeah, right.
Little Richard died?
Little Richard, yeah, he passed away yesterday.
I had no idea.
I had no idea either.
But he looks like he's 42. What is he, 90?
Probably, yeah, but he wore a lot of makeup.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll get into. We may go into adrenochrome later. I don't know, but yeah, I just had my thought. I mean, these people are all talented people. The ones that are up for grabs right now, and all this going on. But it's really sad to know that they have this cloud that's overshadowing them. It's such a disappointment. Like Hom tanks. I still don't want it to be true. I hope it's not, but it's just too much evidence.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way.
It's heartbreaking because I know I work into the industry. I knew about the secret. Everybody did. That was just the way it was, and I got pulled close to the edge of that stuff multiple times. It is very real. And that's why I've started, I've come out and talked about it timidly, because it's like,
I mean,
happy and all that.
It's scary when you think about it. Sorry, I'm having trouble with the capture.
Talker.
That's okay. No, I'm having trouble with the capture right now, so I'm trying to clear up that a little bit. There we go. I think that's better. That's moving a little bit better. I think my frame rate was too high. All right, there we go. That's much better.
Other big news was Trump tweeting Obamagate in all caps today.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Did you guys catch that?
Did not catch that. No.
That's all. Just the whole tweet was all caps Obamagate,
which will turn into Deep State Gate.
Oh my God!
Isn't it exciting, kids? Aren't you just?
I mean, it's exciting and weird at the same time because we kind of knew all this was coming, but now it's here and we're witnessing step by step these things that are going on, and it's hard to comprehend even now. Is it real? Like you want, and
just to say, I can't even write at the moment because I'm more excited about what's going on in real life than the novel I'm writing. So I haven't written since this COVID-19 started. I'm just following every day. I'm following certain channels and talking about this stuff. It is very exciting. We are living in the most amazing time.
Yeah, and the fact that we are getting to be a part of such a historical change in history, fingers crossed it all goes well, and I strongly believe it will. I just wish everybody could feel the honor and knowing what it is that's happening all around us right now. So many people are still so self-involved, or they're in cognitive dissonance and just don't want to admit it, because it's too much for a lot of people.
It really is.
Here, we're people that study it for long periods of time, sometimes decades, where we're tough-skinned to it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I called my grandmother for it was her 99th birthday yesterday. Called her for Mother's Day today, and she has a 101-year-old sister, both alive, and obviously I wouldn't call her for Mother's Day if she wasn't alive, but they were saying that they lived through Prohibition, they lived through the Depression, they lived through World War II, lived through the Korean War, Vietnam War, and this is the craziest thing they've ever seen. Both of them, 100 years of life, the craziest thing I've ever seen.
My grandmother, she's turning 95, and when this all started, she goes, "This is just like when World War II. We all had a rationing, and the shelves were empty." So, I think that's a big problem with our society is we don't hold on to history. We're too now. Everything's now. Have you guys gotten the complaints on your posts going, "Oh, well, that was 3 months ago"? Does it mean it's not relevant?
Right.
How many of you got that? You guys get that?
Yeah.
When you post stuff?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's even if it's a year ago and it's relevant, it's still relevant.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got people that post something a year ago and they say, "This is breaking news. It happened today." Like,
no, that's right. Yeah, that's not right. Exactly. That does happen.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, things move a lot more quickly than they used to. Also, with the internet, things just move instantly. So things change instantly.
Yeah, and that means disinformation gets spread that fast too. Unfortunately, we have the good information.
What amazes me is I watch all this stuff. I go out into the outer world. I go and meet some of my friends that live locally, and they know absolutely nothing about what's going on. All they talk about is, the COVID-19 and the restrictions, and now they begin to relax it. And that's all they know about. And when I start talking about what's really going on in the background, they just look at me like I'm crazy. We're living in two different worlds. There's those who are awake, that are looking at alternate news. There are those that are relying just on the mainstream media. And it seems that there's been what do you call it? A polarization, where you've got a polarization, where you've got the two worlds existing together. And then what I see is the clashes. I'm just watching this morning. Rick shared that video the other day of that lady with her son, and she got arrested by police. And Rick was thinking it was in England. I said, no, that's actually here in Sydney. And I'm looking at it. I'm watching Sydney police. Now, I've got nothing against the police. They're wonderful here. They really are. But to watch a big crowd of them surrounding her and arresting her in front of her child, it was the most horrendous thing to watch. And this is the sort of thing. This is what I don't want to see. People that are clashing over this. This is the last time that we should be fighting one another. People should be working together. And one of the good things I'm seeing is more people are waking up now. There are more of these stories that are creeping into the MSN, the mainstream media news, and there are people beginning to question what's happening. But at the same time, we've got a lot of conflict going on, and this is the thing that we've got to try and get over that. And what I really stand for is the whole ascension process, loving one another, sharing information together, and not having just one perspective where I'm right and you're wrong, and then having big arguments with people. It's opening up communication and slowly and sensitively trying to get people to see things from a different perspective.
It's hard when it's coming from your government, though, and they think they know what's right, and it's sort of, in that scenario, they were not in the right. I mean, that person obviously had a right to peacefully protest just like anybody else does. And she wasn't being allowed. There wasn't a large group of people there. It wasn't a big deal. And it was just the way that it went down. And the same thing with the hairdresser who decides to open up her shop to give haircuts. And they follow the sanitation process and everything. And she gets arrested and thrown in jail for 7 days.
Yeah, she got out early, didn't she? Didn't they change the laws so that they can't lock people up there anymore?
I don't know. I hope they did. I mean, I never followed up, but just the fact that she got arrested is sickening to me.
Oh, terrible, terrible.
Yeah. And they put her in a cell that they just released some child molester or serial killer from, worried that he would get sick from CV-19. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It's insane.
Yeah,
and the thing is that the MSM does know. I don't know how much they know, but they don't tell what they do know. Like at these, you see how it works at these pressers, because the whole press conference will be about General Flynn, and then when it's time for the press to ask questions, everything is COVID-19, just completely nothing, no questions about what the content of the presser was. All they want to know is they have their marching orders to beat us to death with COVID-19 every single day, all day.
Right.
And to ignore anything that makes Trump look good.
Well, look, you got MSNBC. Who owns that? Bill Gates.
Yeah, MSDNC.
It helps push his agenda, and all the networks work with each other under the 6 big corporate entities. So it's all, look, like I said, why I stayed in the entertainment industry is because it allows me to be behind the scenes and see the manipulation that's going on. Okay, all the little Easter eggs, all the little symbols in the background, all the subliminal stuff. I know how to see it and decipher or see through it and see the truth. And that is what they do with politics. The movie Wag the Dog came out for a reason. It was to point this fact out. And we now have seen that, especially with CV-19, with the inflated or fake news reports where they're showing one country from years ago saying it was in Italy today. Inflating the numbers. You've got doctors and nurses and hospital staff going, we're being told to anybody had a sneeze or something. Oh, it's CV-19. Oh, shark attack, CV-19. Slipped on some soap in the shower, CV-19. It's
that bad.
ridiculous. Even though this information is out there, it's not catching the fire that it needs because it's not on everything. People are saying, well, it's not on my channel. It's not on this channel. It's so tiresome. And I just don't know. I just been awake too long. It breaks my heart that these lemmings aren't waking up. You just want to.
Yeah, exactly.
I know the feeling.
I know the feeling too.
Anyway, sorry, rant over. Hello, we got somebody here.
Yeah, we have another participant. Who do we have there?
Elise.
Hi, Elise. How are you? Thanks for
Hi, Elise.
joining.
Alice.
Took me a while. I'm a troglodyte. I couldn't figure out how to get in here.
Oh, that's okay. Do you have a question or something you would like to share? Or are you just sort of listening in?
I'm just listening.
Okay, that's great. Okay, cool.
Voyeurism is allowed.
Yeah, that's right. This is Fireside, which is a little different than the average, but this is good. So let's see. So we talked about the hairdresser just now.
Susan or something from Dallas.
Yeah,
Or
I forget what her name was actually.
I mean, she had Sarah Palin came down from Alaska to get her haircut there.
Oh, really?
She got some attention.
Wow, that's funny.
Plus, she got $500K from a fundraiser to help pay the bills.
Oh, that's awesome. That's what we need to do.
Oh yeah, we should all protest so we can go to jail and get out of the fundraiser. Then we can all upgrade our shows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I obviously still need some work on the video. Can't get that video to stop lagging, so I don't know what the deal is there. I need a tech guy to look at that at some point, but it's not too bad. We get the sound, we get some video. So let's see. What do we want to cover next? I know we talked about the SSP subject a little bit. We kind of skirted around that. I know that's something that you're thinking about getting into on your show, and you haven't really touched it because of the whole, back and forth things that were going on behind the scenes there.
Yeah, months ago, probably 6-8 months ago, or whenever it was going on, there was a bunch of infighting. There was a certain network involved and whatnot. Letters were publicly displayed on the interwebs, and I didn't want to I didn't want to interview anybody in the SSP at that moment because I didn't want to get pulled into that, like, oh, you're choosing sides. Because I want to give everybody an opportunity, as long as they're not bashing the other side that they're opposing and whatnot. I'm willing to listen to anybody. Just don't be dismissive, and don't bash anyone. Those are my rules.
Yeah, those are my rules too. I mean, I think that's the way it should be. I mean, you can have a difference of opinion without bashing somebody. You know.
And there should be a rule too that if one or the other feels themselves getting close to red line, okay, next topic. That's a cut point.
Yeah, right.
That's the safe word kind of moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah,
we haven't come across that yet on our site yet, but hopefully we don't have to worry about that.
Right.
So let's see.
We're a pretty laid back group here.
Yeah. So far, I mean, who knows?
I argue with you guys all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but these are good arguments. They're respectful arguments. You're not putting people down.
I don't argue with you guys. Stop it.
All right, let's see. Oh, we had someone from California on our site, on our the Esoteric group, post something about chemtrails recently, where it seems like they're also increasing again all of a sudden in the California area.
Are you
seeing that?
It up here on the mountain too.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I mean, it almost felt like at one point it started to go away, and we're thinking, well, maybe they're taking control of these programs, but I think there's a lot of private contracting work that goes on there. And in fact, I remember seeing a video. I don't know if it was someone in Congress who was trying to bring it to Congress. She was a scientist or something, and she was basically, talking about the science behind it and all the research that she did into the private contractors and the fact that it's not regulated and nobody's controlling it, and there's a big danger with something like that not being regulated or controlled. But it's a known. I mean, it seems like people know that it exists. It's not like the government doesn't know.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any ideas on that or seen any information?
Desiree.
Desiree's on mute.
Desiree, do you think about chemtrails much?
Oh my gosh. Well, I haven't really seen any because I've been in my house all day and I don't really go out as much as I used to. But I do still see them, and yes, it is something to be worried about. My doctor who is my doctor who is a toxicologist, which she's an expert in nanotechnology, and she says that everybody in the world has nanotechnology in them, and she scales it from 0 to 10, and every average person will have 0.3 nanotechnology in them, and she says it's from the chemtrails.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So what is the purpose of the chemtrails?
Multi-purposes, even to a commercial aspect. They got companies that are on the stock market. If you got enough money, they'll spray your town. If you need rain or this or that, yeah. And there's even images of Trump when he first came in office where he was taking tours of the 737s and 747s with all the the tubes and tanks all on board going up to the wings.
Right, there's close-up images of the apparatus on the outside of these planes, and showing how they spray whatever they're spraying in the sky.
The sickening part of that whole story, though, is for years we were called conspiracy theorists. When we had the evidence, we saw this evidence for years. We saw the photographs. I mean, it looked very legitimate. I mean, and nobody wanted to look into it, and now it's being admitted.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yep, that's sad.
Hey guys, I've just got to say, here in Australia, it's really interesting because before we had our bushfires, we noticed there was a lot of chemtrails in the air, and then when we had those bushfires, they were really fierce, as you saw, and people have gone out, they've taken samples out in the bush, and they've found all these different toxins that are highly combustible, like alumina and various things like that. And it's funny because
barium, strontium.
During the bushfires, the chemtrails seem to stop. We haven't had many since. We've seen a few in the air, but during this whole COVID-19 thing, it's been the air has been so much clearer. The sunlight's been beautiful. It just feels so much better. But when I went to Disclosure Down Under, and while I was there was a group of young people. They were in their 20s, and they were from Queensland, and they were very concerned about chemtrails. It's just one little story I just want to get out. And they said that, I won't name the politician, but he is part of our current government, and he at one stage was in a very senior position. They went to his office to confront him on chemtrails, and they said, what's going on? We want someone to look into this. And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. We haven't got any information on this at all. Apparently one of his staffers turned around and said, oh, yes, we have. She says, we've got a filing cabinet. We've got an entire drawer over there. And apparently he just turned, he gave her a death stare, and she just went very quiet. And he said, as I said, we don't know anything about these things. Just shut it down like that. So obviously, I mean, I'm not pointing the finger at him. He obviously knows more about it than he wants to tell, or is allowed to tell. There just seems to be some sort of plan to, as Desiree said, I believe it is, to get nanotechnology into us. It is in all of us, as she quite rightly says. And from what I understand, with 5G technology, they're going to be able to use that, and somehow they're going to be able to activate these toxins inside us, whether it's for mind control or body biology control, or or whatever it's for, I'm not
The zombie apocalypse.
It just doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel good. So,
Dave, that I don't know if you knew, but the Paradise Fires had the same scenario. Mass chemtrails before the fires ignited from multiple fashions, we'll say.
Yeah, all those chemicals.
The funny thing is,
barium, strontium.
When I went to,
sorry, I was just going to say, all the chemicals that they dump apparently dry out the vegetation too. So you have your barium, strontium, aluminum, all the metals that they have that's been tested in the soil. That actually kills the vegetation in a lot of areas. So when you have all that dead vegetation, it's easy to light a fire and just take out a whole area. And not only that, there's the idea that there may be directed energy weapons involved as well. We don't know truth or false on that, but there's some photographs that you look at. Homes are just blasted and taken out like there was some kind of a laser beam, shine down on them. When you have a tree right next to it, perfectly, green and no problems whatsoever, and cars melted and stuff like that. So I mean, there's so many things going on at the same time, I believe, and I'm hoping
it was the first major forest fire that didn't really do much to the forest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
it's interesting because when I went to California, that was just after those fires had happened, and then I came back just before our fires happened, and I noted that the air, it seemed to be exactly the same. I came back to Sydney and it felt really dry and sort of harsh, just the way it did in California when I was over there. Then those fires started, and I thought, well, there is definitely a similarity here. So whatever was going on in California happened here in Sydney, and I believe that the chemtrails are part of all that.
Yeah. Now, you hear people say, it's just kind of speaking of, we've spoken about cognitive dissonances. This is one that I find in the community, so to speak, is people will say, they'll declare chemtrails are over. We don't see any more chemtrails. The Alliance is won, and the chemtrail program is over. And then next week you'll see a chemtrail. Ones now. Trump is taking over the chemtrail.
Yeah, I know. I've seen
and these
that.
ones have good stuff in it that fight 5G.
Those are the positive ones. OMG.
So, who can know? I remain fairly skeptical about a lot of things. Like, I see them going on, but I don't really know if that's all I know is I see trails in the sky. I don't know what's in them or what they're for, and I don't feel like I have access to any solid information about it.
Well, I know that a lot of people from the community, just like people like Ben and Rob, and just other people reach out to me to check up on me to see if my targeting is stopped, because they're saying that the Alliance is supposed to take over all of these dark projects, and they said they should be over, and they reach out to me and say, are you still being targeted? And I say, yep, nope, still targeted over here. No one's taking over these programs. It's still happening. So I know people keep telling me the same thing, is that the Alliance is going to take over these dark projects, and it's not happening yet.
There's different layers and levels of the dark projects too, and some of the ones that are the most egregious are the ones that are going to probably be last to be taken out, because they're so well hidden, they're so deep underground probably, that there's just it's going to take time.
You have all these deep underground bases that have been going under attack, at least for the last several months. The first attempt was when Washington, D.C. had that huge earthquake. Remember the one that cracked the Washington Monument, shook the White House? Mm-hmm. That was a huge explosion underground in one of the tunnel systems. And the air from the explosion traveled all the way down the air vents through down the East Coast to Florida, where there was I think Marlins baseball. Is that the baseball team? Marlins?
Yep.
I think that was them. It was being televised live. Everything you can look it up. Just type in live baseball game, ghostly sounds, and the commentators even make mention of it. You hear this all throughout the stadium. And they're like, who left the door open? It sounds like a ghost and all this. Well, the air conditioning system in the parking lot that runs all the units for the stadium also was the exit chamber for the air vent tunnel. So they've been doing it since then. And that was, I think, when they were trying to do a coup. Then they were like, nah, we're going to do this legally, get a guy in the White House and do this right. Well, now they're under there. They're doing all these underground battles. And there's a guy named Gene who's on a show that I won't mention because they're kind of keeping them to themselves, which I think is wrong. And he has just look up underground battle. I think that's how you can Google it. Anyway,
let's do that.
Has it all mapped out what all these underground facilities are, and he talks about what they do at each of them. And some of them are like TI programs and psychological warfare and just, the deep, dark stuff. But there's so many of them, they haven't gotten to them. So it's like every few days they conquer a new one. They save some children. They saved 37,000 children in that 1 week at the beginning of the coronavirus. So things are happening, and just Desiree, just keep the faith. Have faith in Q's plan that they will get to that bunker that is headquartering the program that's giving you grief right now. Okay, keep the faith, sister.
Yeah.
Well, we have some remote viewers that I'm working with, and they found out which base is doing the targeting. So it's so it's been a very, very interesting ride, working with these people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think they're going to be the ones that are going to be able to get the information direct. And some of the things they do is so amazing. John Vabanka and those folks and people who can do this stuff, they've been trained for so many years, and some of the evidence that they produce is amazing. It's just taking the average person and training them to giving them a coordinate or something like that to view, and then they start telling them, write down some squiggles on there relative to this number, and then before you know it, they have a picture of what they're viewing already, and that just blows my mind. So yeah, I would say
the more viewers you have, the better to triangulate it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
May I ask? The program you were talking about, in which they talk about the DUMBs, the underground bases. Do you know where the intel is sourced from?
From this guy from the show that I was talking about, Gene.
Yes.
He has military sources, people that are the White Hats, the Alliance. And I've been noticing there are a few people that either they're really good at decepting or they really are the true deal and they are really releasing good information. One that I'm kind of leaning towards, I'm pretty sure he's legit, is David Zublik, but I don't know for 100%. He could be just there to sell his books. I don't know, but we all have to make our money. I get that. Yeah. But his intel has been pretty spot on in the most part. The arrest didn't happen like we were hoping as soon as we thought it would happen. I mean, how many of you thought we were going to have our 3-day blackout like a week or two ago?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah.
But he's been.
Of course, a lot of us were hoping for zombies, aliens, invasions, and the return of Christ, but we got a bug.
The other question I have is, all these children that are being rescued, where are all the children that are being rescued? Has anyone got any idea about that? Because I haven't heard anything.
The mercy and the comfort is the theory that they're on the ships.
Yeah, that's the theory. I just I'm hoping it'll be kind of like a witness protection program for these kids, and these parents that take care of foster or whoever are like vented. I mean, vetted hard, because that's where the problem usually starts is through the
through the parents and through the system there, the adoption system.
My heart goes out to all of them. I mean, 37,000 kids. And how many does each ship? How many people did the ships hold?
I don't know how many it holds actually. I thought there was only a couple thousand beds in there for the hospital.
Yeah, I heard a couple of thousand.
I think a lot of them aren't coming out alive, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, they're malnourished and stuff.
Deformed.
They've
and
been
all kinds of
abused
stuff.
and disfigured, and some of them have never seen the light of day. Some say that some of these underground cities have 3 generations living down there, never coming to the surface.
Wow.
Just breaks my heart. Horrible.
But if these are full cities, kind of like some say it's like mega structures and mega cities, and it's like 5-star hotels. But what I'm seeing is Demolition Man under the streets. Remember that?
Demolition Man. I don't remember that.
With Sylvester Stallone. And,
a movie I never saw. A movie I never saw. I never saw that one. Oh, God.
It's got Wesley Snipes in it as the bad guy.
Yeah, that's the one that's this new like coronavirus reality keeps reminding me of, like, where you have machines that are telling you, hey, everybody stay 6 feet apart. I don't think it's happening. I think maybe in bigger cities there are robotic voices telling you to stay 6 feet apart. In like somewhere in China. I think, no, it's somewhere in Asia. There's these robots, like these dog-like robots that are walking around reminding everyone. That's the movie where, like, if somebody swears, they get a ticket, right?
Mm-hmm. And they got the drones too that are going around telling everybody, because they have the drones that can scan and know if you're 6 feet apart or not, and then it has a little megaphone and yells at you in Japanese.
Wait, no, I'm talking about the movie, the Wesley Snipes movie. Was that that was the one where they had these machines? If they heard you swearing, it printed out a ticket. I think it was that one.
Well, I saw these
what they're
robots the
arresting
other
people
day.
for now, I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
And I saw these robots the other day walking around a park somewhere in America, and they're going up to people and they're just saying, "Oh, please be further apart," and then they go walking off.
That's unreal.
It's
just like something out of sci-fi.
Yeah, it's like exterminate, all these little Doctor Who, guys going.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Once that'll happen, it'll be AI, and then they'll all turn into like cyborgs or
They'll turn into murder hornets. Electronic murder hornets.
Yeah.
That's the other subject. What the heck? All of a sudden we have these new phase of hornets coming to America. Like, all of a sudden, I mean, it seems like someone designed that to happen right now.
Are we sure it didn't come out of Montauk Island?
Yeah.
Are we sure they even exist?
Right.
Sure that
it could be a
we're
myth.
not going to see hornets and think they're murder hornets.
Well, have you seen the footage of what they do? I mean, one of these killer wasps, or whatever they're called, or murder wasps, they'll come down in a big swarm of bees on their honey hive and just go to town, grabbing each one after the other, just chopping its head off. That's what they do. They just chop the heads off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I like to think I know a lot about a lot of things, but I've never heard of killer wasps.
Never ever heard.
I've heard of Wasp the band. We are Satan's people.
I've heard of killer bees, but that's like with the
bees.
massive swarms of bees. But wasps and hornets. I mean, never really been like that. I mean, that's amazing.
Especially that size. It's like they escaped from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that monkey the other day that tried to drag off a baby? I can't remember where it was, but it just seems like animals' behaviour seems to be changing. This thing tried to drag off it was a child. It wasn't even.
That's chemtrails.
Baby. It was a.
That's chemtrails, with all the nano.
The monkey had to be trained to do that. I mean, he was riding a motorcycle. Come on. He had to be trained to do that. I mean, he was on a motorcycle and he took off. He grabbed the baby.
I didn't know that. Okay, that's hilarious. I mean, it's not funny that he grabbed the baby.
No, you know what it makes me think of?
It's not funny that he grabbed the baby.
I don't have a screen capture. It makes me think of the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but as a monkey. Jumps off the motorcycle, grabs a kid, takes him off. I mean, I would not be surprised. I mean, there's some crazy stuff out there.
Oh yeah.
That's why I tell parents, just hold on to your kids, pay attention. Don't get too comfortable and not pay attention.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, you can't turn your head for a couple of seconds.
No, I mean, I am a firsthand experience. I was 3 years old in Sacramento, California. It was Rancho Cordova, California, in a neighborhood that had a community pool. My grandmother's backyard fence ran along the fence line of the pool.
Where are you from?
It's not where I was from. I just lived there for a while. It was I lived in Sacramento, but my grandmother lived in Cordova, California.
Okay.
And so it was a little neighborhood. And I was 3, didn't know no better, Air Force brat. Parents always said, trust pilots in the military. You know, back then, that's what you told them. And so my grandmother got up and went into her house, and this guy was watching. There was a bunch of kids, people out there, and he came up and said, hey, I work with your dad. I'm like, oh, so you're a pilot in the Air Force too? And he goes, oh, yeah. Okay. Got on the bike. My grandmother came out. I was gone. He had taken me to the house. Opened the door, came in. There was 2 little girls, a blonde and a brunette, white gown, little outfits. Look, just now I look back at it, I'm like, they were traumatized. Me, I was 3 years old. And he goes, go play over with the toys. I'll be with you in a minute. He took one of the girls in the other room. I sit down because I see, this is, I think, 1976, because the Speak and Spell came out. Remember the Speak and Spell?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You type it, it would read it to you. Well, I went over and there's all the toys, and I'm a boy. I'm like, gadgets, you know? This is right when Atari came out. I grabbed it, and I kid you not, it said, go home now on the screen.
Oh, my God.
I got up, walked to the front door. The guy had not locked the door or something. I don't know, but it was unlocked. I opened it up, and I wandered the neighborhood for a big period of time because I was lost. And then the search party found me, and they're like, where were you? We want to find this house. Like, I couldn't tell them, but it has haunted me ever since. And then being in the entertainment industry, I almost got pulled to the dark side on multiple occasions. I was in situations and environments where things were happening, like women being held against their will, you know, with a taser and stuff in a bedroom at a party and all this other crazy. But young, dumb, 18, 20, in Orlando, working for Disney, I was popping pills, drinking it, no grasp of reality. Another time, we got convinced to go to a rave in Dripping Springs, Texas, in the middle of a property, and it ended up being a gigantic satanic ritual event.
Oh, God.
We couldn't get out. There was a storm, and the roads were flooded. We couldn't leave. So anybody that doubts any of this stuff, please, I don't know what to tell you, but you've got to open your eyes. This is what is going on. All the stuff that people are being shown on the mainstream media without politics, none of it has to do with what is really going on behind the scenes. It's about good and evil. It's about saving children and saving women and other people that are enslaved. You know, I bet you've seen the famous Maria
Abramovich. Abramovich, yeah, crazy.
She's with the other lady, Gigi, and they're at a party, and there's like a body with goo, and they're licking the goo off of the body, and then there's a picture of an African American man with an afro who's painted kind of whitish gray, kind of like Aborigine, right?
Yeah,
he's butt naked, and he's leaning up against a tree. You guys remember seeing that image?
I do.
Not that one. No.
Look it up.
Okay.
The guy was found dead. That was the last image of him.
Oh, my God.
With his organs taken out, his eyeballs taken out. Like the things that the cannibals liked, the treats, the rewards, the trophies.
Oh, God.
Now I do want to
it is real.
Also having been worked on another side of the entertainment industry. I was a Rugrats artist back in the 90s, and what I can tell you too is that it's not evil on every level.
No.
Like everybody in the entertainment industry is not complicit. There are a lot of good people, a lot of people that just want to make fun experiences for children. And that was everybody that I know, as far as I know. Everybody I knew was cared for and loved kids. And just loved their work making creative things, and many of them worked for Disney also. But I have no doubt that when you get up to certain levels in the industry, that it's they're more.
You have to have something on you to manipulate you.
Sure, yeah.
And it's so true. You know, it's funny you're wearing the Rugrats. One of my friends was one of the Rugrats, on ice or something, you know, and then did that cartoon voice for a while. But yeah, and I trained with the Dallas Television and Film Workshop with Barney. All the kids you saw on Barney came from the Dallas Television and Film Workshop.
All right, yeah.
So, and everything I try to do, I try to make family oriented because we do need that. And I also point out on my shows when I talk about this stuff, you have to reiterate when you're talking about these entertainment scandals and what, you always need to point out that it is not everybody. It's just the bad apples in the cart. Like any industry, any job, any company, you're gonna have them. You just got to get them weeded out. But unfortunately, there's more than a few in this case. But yes, please still support the movie industry. Please support TV, film, because there's 95% of the people are amazing. So what did you do in the entertainment industry, Stephen?
I was a Rugrats artist.
That's right. Yeah, you're a graphic artist.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Love to talk to you another time about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's our host?
I'm still here. I'm listening in on your awesome conversation there.
I drew some of the characters on this shirt.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
Oh, I'm disappearing. Green's a no-no.
Green's a no-no.
Yeah, right. Did you see the live action Rugrats video?
No, I worked in New York, and we only did still art in New York.
Oh no! I'm just saying. Have you seen it? It's like the Rugrats and it's live actors, but it's like a horror trailer.
No,
gotta see it.
Is it a joke?
Oh yeah, it's like Funny or Die or something, but it's hilarious.
Okay, that sounds funny. I'll have to look at that.
Steve, tell everybody how you started working for Corey.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I don't know how far should I go, like to childhood.
Yeah, whatever. The whole story.
So I was working in Manhattan. I was working for an artist called Jeff Koons. Many people know, big time pop artist guy, but he has a crew that makes his art pieces. But some nights we were staying up like overnight. If we had a show coming up, we would end up like sleeping on our scaffolds on our breaks and then getting up and painting more. But so it was really hard to stay awake. And I listened to podcasts. I would listen to the craziest things I could listen to stay awake. And music wasn't cutting it. So listening to just the craziest podcasts I could, which like led me down a rabbit hole leading to David Wilcock and then to David's books. Talking to a few other people there who knew about David's work. There were 200 employees at the where I worked. But anyway, when I heard, I think it was one of David's books where he mentions Corey Good for the first time, and he's mentioning these Stargate systems. And I just thought, man, this is I was laughing out loud. I was saying to myself, this is the coolest, craziest, funniest thing I've ever heard. Like I thought it was just so fun. And but the deeper I looked into it, I started all Harry Cassidy, and then I started realizing that this is fun. But there's a side of this that is dead serious, and I'd never seen that before. It was always like, gray aliens and Bigfoot and stuff. Not that stuff isn't serious too, but you had people who were ex like military intelligence and ex CIA and FBI and things like that. People who were former Rothschild people or something, whistleblowing on there. And so I really started listening. But when I got Gaia, which I had to do, I probably shouldn't say that word, but when I started seeing David and Corey's show, I got hooked on this narrative, just because I'm an artist, and so it's visually stimulating. I burn out on painting, um, the themes I'd been painting for years and years, as more of a traditional painter. I just lost touch with it. It was just like the more I sort of woke up, the more I realized that I was painting about myself, and it was starting to get boring, and I wanted to paint about the things I was learning. And I started like hitting up Corey and saying, I heard they were going to do a graphic novel. I didn't think there was any chance I was going to pick for that. But I started just offering to do free work for him. And then I would like stay up all night. I pull all-nighters just to like overperform for them. And eventually they decided to take me on as their artist. And it's been a few years now. I've been, essentially, one of the only person consistently doing artwork in the past few years for me.
Thank you for sharing it. That was amazing. I love that story. I know I've.
That's a great story.
But Corey's been good to me, and I have nothing but good to say about Corey, and I can tell you that there's been a lot of misunderstandings out there, and a lot of people getting the facts wrong, people getting the information wrong, and I can tell you, working with them, the longer I work with them, I started in as a skeptic, like equal parts is what I'd say, skeptic and open-minded about it.
Well, that's what I love about you. I love that about you, that you're like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't help it. Like when people say, "Hey, I had this experience," it took me a while to believe your experience.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I really appreciate that, because you weren't just like,
Dismissive.
okay, yeah. You weren't dismissive. You paid attention, and then you said, "Well, that's really wild, Desiree."
Yeah, and I enjoy hearing it. It's not like I'm sitting there folding my arms, going, "Yeah, whatever." But a story is a story, and then when you spend time with somebody, you start realizing that what they say is consistent or not, or they're trying to get attention or not, or whatever. But the longer I work with Corey, the more I realize that it's just so consistent. I can ask him anything, and he's got the answer. He's not on a show. He's not on a script. And I think one of the most impressive things to me is the designs. So he'll describe a design of something, like a ship, of a headpiece, like these magical tiara things that the Mayan people used to heal him. And the thing is, nobody's seen these things before. And then I'm designing them, and they look weird, they look clunky. And then he's like, no. And then the closer I get to his design, the more beautiful it becomes. And then I realized that Corey has no background in design. And this thing is so beautiful when I finally meet the description that it had to have been designed by somebody other than Corey. Because I know Corey, without a background in design, he didn't design a tiara like that,
Right.
Similar thing with tiara. So, the tiara that most people know is the Android Jones version of tiara. Corey needed it in a hurry, I think, and he threw out a description. The artist cranked something out. It was pretty close, for like the general feeling of it. But the closer that I got to Corey's description, Corey would say, no, he's got no beak. He's got a flat, smooth, soft mouth. That's not yellow, it's brown. I'd be like, really? And I'd be like scared to make it like too far from that original image. And he has perfectly disc-shaped eyes, not almond-shaped eyes. And so like I'd be like, okay. But the closer I got, the more you saw this very lifelike and believable being looking back at you, and the rhythms start making sense. So the closer I get to Corey's descriptions, the more everything makes sense. He'll even describe something and it'll be like, he'll leave out a major detail, and because he's seen it in his head, and then I'll ask a question and he'll go, "Oh, that," and then it'll be this piece that he failed to tell me is a thing that ties everything together and makes it all make sense. Right on that spot. All the time.
The thing that really impressed me when I first encountered Corey, seeing him on many different conferences, he was always utterly consistent, and that is what really got my attention, and I believe he's very genuine. I'd love to see him on Doc's show one day, so we'll get him on your show, Doc. We'll keep going at that.
I would love to get him on this show one time.
Yes.
Yeah. And look, and that's a beautiful thing about people like us coming together. And I've mentioned this before. It's, this is not a time in history for podcasters to be selfish with their little superstars or information. We need to share it, and so
share.
I go down the list all the time. Rex Bear League Project, Natasha Nick's Mysterious Forces Live, Rob and Ben, Edge of Wonder, Liz, the list goes on and on. We communicate with each other, and we're like, "Hey, you had so and so on last week. Can I get a number so I can?" And we do. We share our knowledge and information with each other, and that's what I think is really going to be a big change in this world. And so it's funny, Steve. I've never had anybody with the SSP on my program. Like I mentioned earlier, when I was wanting to do it, there was that whole issue with the network we shall not name, and so I didn't want to. I'm so new and I'm kind of small time. I'm pulling in some big players. But now things have settled. I would love to chat with any of them. I have everybody on doing this on my show as well. And, any guests that I've had on my show, Rick, I don't know where you are because all I see is me twice.
I'm over here.
I am more than willing to help you with contacts and numbers to my guests that I've had, my previous guests, so that we can help spread their information far and wide.
Yeah, right.
Not just to our little audiences. That's the key, folks. That's the key. Sharing the information, not keeping it for yourself for clicks or money. And I know I'm stressing that because there's somebody out there that's doing it, and it upsets me. But I'm not gonna bash.
Well, to be fair with Corey, is like his whole life is doing this. He's putting so much into his Ascension course and the graphic novel, all these projects, and then not to mention the legal stuff that's going on. He's a really busy guy, so if he's not going on all kinds of shows, it's sometimes just because he's his time is limited. He can't be everywhere at once.
I completely understand.
Yeah. But there are those people out there who are just hoarding one person, and it's kind of like you wonder what the idea behind that is, and are they trying to control the narrative is the question, right?
Just like the Black Hats,
right?
Yeah,
right.
That is what they're doing. It's for clicks and the money, and their products get. I understand we all have to sell our products and whatnot so we can survive, because it's what we're doing right now. I mean, Rick, I'm sure you haven't put money down on your mansion yet, have you?
On my what? On my mansion? No. No.
So
not even a quarter.
This isn't. This is. I'm sure there's parents out there, their kids going, "I want to be a podcast," and the parents like, "No."
Yeah.
So I get it. We all have to do what we got to do, but some take advantage of the situation, take advantage of guests, and it's not right. The truth will come out eventually. People will see through their baloney, and it'll be their own downfall. So that doesn't need me to be putting out names.
No, we don't need the names. We just know what goes on, what to look for. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
So
when's it all going to go down, guys? When are we going to start seeing something crazy?
I think we're already seeing it start, right, with Flynn's exoneration, right? That's the I call that the crack in the egg myself, and hopefully,
tipping point. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start to see things spilling over.
So
I
is
wish we
Flynn
had
the
more.
shot that the shot heard around the world.
According to a lot of people and a lot of Q speak and Q research, Flynn knows where all the bodies are buried. Apparently, that's
Right. He knows about the pizza parties at the lighthouse at 1 a.m. He knows all that stuff. He was around for three different presidents, and so
I was surprised at how overt his tweets. I hadn't read Flynn's tweets about these sorts of things before. I recently had gone through some of his tweets that were very overt about things that are considered conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm. Yep, him and his wife and a whole bunch of people are all kind of just
like all the pizza stuff. And
was that before his exoneration or after?
Yeah, I have a feeling. No, it was way before.
Wow.
And I kind of think that's why he was targeted in the first place.
Oh, so you mean maybe some of the stuff that you were reading was even before he was indicted?
I just read them like yesterday, and I couldn't believe they were from Flynn. And I don't actually remember the dates on them, but I remember them being fairly old tweets.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I think my speculation is him and Trump. I mean, they made a deal. He was like, "Yeah, they're gonna make you plead guilty. Just hold out, do some surfing. We'll come back around to it. Let me I'm playing 4D chess right now. Let me get in the right place, then we'll bring you back into the game."
Okay,
and I think that was the plan.
Speaking of which, how much of it is the plan? How much of it is the script? How many of these people are under house arrest and playing a part as actors? Even like the deep state people, how many of them are playing out a part and reading a script?
In a compartmentalized kind of way, you might think, because it's military. It's a military operation.
So you're saying some of the people we consider black hats might actually be white hats? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not even saying white hats, but what if sort of in exchange for this is
I see.
Like I've been going through lately is what if the meaning of the plan, we kind of had this mild debate online, so I've been talking about with a few friends, but is essentially the script, where people to it may be to lighten a sentence or something else, people agree to be part of this movie, because Q keeps telling us we're watching a movie, but to what degree are how far does the script reach? Q keeps saying Patriots in control. How much are the Patriots in control of?
I think this is it. I think this is what he means by control. We're coming out with the truth when MSM isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now that it's being exposed, he's saying, "Okay, Q Army, it's in your hands. Do good with it." And I feel that's what we're doing. We're getting the word out.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Silence.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
But
okay, exit stage right.
But I'm kind of taking it to a new place, like so you can not go there with me if it's too far. But I'm kind of wondering, like, okay, so one of the first Q drops was that Hillary Clinton has been arrested, and so a lot of people chalk this up to disinformation is necessary. Okay, yeah. But what if she was, and what if she's playing out a part, and she's playing a role as an actor as part of the plan now, or other deep
yeah, good point. I have never really thought of it from that perspective. And you have to think about all these possibilities are absolutely possible. Anything is possible.
Yeah. Well, they all got doubles, and they're all withdrawn from that.
That's the part.
Crown.
The double part is scary to think about.
Yeah.
Because even if
Clones.
let's say they're bad, they're still bad, and they're not playing the good role or whatever, and they have their clones, and one gets taken out, they just put another one in place. It's like we'll just keep growing new ones.
Right.
Wow.
Well, there's difference between clones and doubles, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Something. Doubles is something that people have always done.
Especially
there's a well-known woman who is Hillary Clinton's double. People know the name of the woman. But then there's the whole clone idea, which I'm a little more skeptical of, but I'm warming up to it all the time. Mostly
You think about how long ago they cloned a sheep, right? I mean, you think they haven't experimented with that since then? I mean, somebody in Dark Projects has got
it's actually
Well,
Clonate out of Canada,
when they-
the French-Canadian company.
Oh.
When they do the cloning, do they transfer the consciousness into the clone? How would that work?
That is actually discussed amongst Illuminati members. There is a catch term for it, soul catching or something like that. And you have to be really close to the top of the pyramid to play with that. But they supposedly have it, and they portray it in the movie with Ryan Reynolds, where he's an old guy, rich man. They take his consciousness and put him in Ryan Reynolds.
What's the name of that movie?
I'm locking up. But it wasn't a big... What?
Yeah, there was a movie called... see, now I can't even think of it, where they were transferring the consciousness of a black male. Was that the one?
No. Hold on. It was... I'll find out. Let me pull this up.
Because there's another one just like that, where they were getting black males because of their body types, and these old men were transferring their consciousness into the black guy.
Yeah, this was God, he's done so much. It's is it not Life? That was the space movie. My God, he does like 5 movies a year.
Oh, the movie that I'm talking about is called Get Out. So
no, oh yeah, that's the Keel and Peele guy. He directed that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. That's some scary. That's some MK Ultra stuff.
Yeah, you guys should check it out if you guys,
But this movie, he let me just Google the term instead, because he's got too many damn movies. Ryan Reynolds movie, consciousness. How do you spell consciousness?
Conscience.
Science. There we go.
Science. Yeah.
Okay.
I struggle with spelling that all the time. I have to
no. I'm sorry.
Conscious. Found it.
SCIOU.
Doesn't matter. I got it. Thank God for Google. All right, here it is. It's called Selfless. It came out in 2015.
Selfless.
A dying real estate mogul transfers his consciousness into a healthy young body, but soon finds that neither the procedure nor the company that performed it are quite what they seem.
Oh, wow. That's one I'm going to have to watch.
Yeah, I got that one written down. Definitely going for that one next.
Doesn't every movie have something where things aren't quite what they seem?
Yes, and actually, if you guys are interested, I was thinking about doing this on my show, but it'd be cool to do it with a group of people, okay? I want to do maybe a 2-3 hour special show where we just go over movies and TV shows that are
I'm in.
Cool.
I watch every movie.
Me too.
I'm in.
Okay.
Oh, who'd be great for this?
Thumbs up.
What is this woman's name? Really nice girl who disappeared from the face of the earth. She used to do a show on she used to have a Joy. What's this woman's last name? Joy. She had a show about Star Trek, like a podcast series about the disclosure in Star Trek, and she had a whole podcast about disclosure in the movies. Oh man, I can't remember her last name.
I'm looking.
But I'll tell you guys.
And I actually had contact with one of the artists from The Simpsons, and I'm having a brain fart on his first name.
I think our brains are being attacked right now.
I know, right? We all don't know, remember anything. You know what I think it is? Just old age, guys.
No, it is. It's
That's all it
Alzheimer's
is.
disease.
Blame it on
Old
that.
You know, I look at it as information overload. There's too much information coming in to keep it all in one place.
I've just always been this way.
Well, just so you know, I got a few of my lady viewers all watching, and they're saying hello and stuff on my end through Facebook. So, hello,
Awesome.
ladies.
Hello.
Misty, Tina, all you. Hello.
Nice.
All right. No, I was in the middle. What was I doing here?
Joy.
We're talking about
Joy Jackson.
Joy Jackson. Is it Joy Jackson?
Is she on Facebook?
Yeah.
She's not doing this anymore, though. I don't think.
Yeah, I think she's
She stepped aside for a little while.
gone private. Really nice person though.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
She
Yeah,
kind of became
so do
a
I.
target. She kind of became targeted by the sort of negative parts of the community, and
Did I scare her off?
Is that her? Is this her? Can you see it? No,
I
huh?
see white.
All right, hang on. How about
Wasn't
now?
she at Dimensions of Disclosure?
Probably.
Well, I
Right,
think
there
I
it is,
remember
right
her
there.
there.
Is that her?
That's it.
Yeah, probably. I can't see it very well.
I think that's
Probably.
her.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. She interviewed me on one of her shows.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember watching that one.
Well, did
So-
so everybody here besides Doc went to DOD last year?
I didn't go. I went the year.
Oh yeah, you
of,
didn't go. I'm sorry, Steve.
Doc was talking about The Simpsons.
That's
Somebody
okay.
he knew from The Simpsons there. So
I went.
Yeah, no.
I
He
went
starts with a
before
D.
that.
He's one of the original artists. He's still with him. Darren,
So
something.
I don't know any of the artists.
Donald,
Yeah, I
Dave.
went to my first vegan restaurant with him in LA, and we kind of friended it. And I've been wanting to get him on my show, but with everything going on, because they predicted the killer bees, they predicted Hom Tanks, all this stuff.
All the stuff, yeah.
And it would be awesome to have the guy that does the drawing come on the show.
How was it that they?
I think that would be a whole show by itself.
Okay, so is he a QAnon guy?
He was at the UFO Congress, so I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Something's
That's what
going
I saw.
on with time travel there, boy. They know
He's a
everything that's going to
disclosure
happen.
They got
What do
access
you-
to something.
Yeah,
What
they do.
what do you make of that? Of the Simpsons predictions?
Well,
Some of them are faked too. Like there are people out there that make fake
Yes,
ones.
oh,
yes.
like the After Effect, like the one with the hands on the globe and all that.
Yeah.
The helicopter
it's
one.
like when you're going back and you're watching the old episodes and you're like, oh snap! Kind of like you go back and watch any of the cartoons you did when you were a kid, and you seeing like Illuminati symbols and pedophiles all over the place on Nickelodeon
Right.
and all that.
Yeah.
And we didn't know. Our parents didn't know.
What
No.
did everybody watch The Simpsons when they were younger?
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, I saw
So
But here,
maybe they did that to put it in the consciousness.
but hold on. Pop quiz. Where did they truly start from?
Who, the Simpsons, or
Simpsons.
the people that made The Simpsons?
They
What
started
was
from
the
a comic,
Simpsons
didn't they?
Where was the Simpsons' biggest break before they became a TV show?
Newspaper, wasn't it?
Nope.
No? Huh.
You're all gonna get mad.
Oh no!
Oh,
This
Oh,
was like a show. It was. They were like.
come on.
It wasn't Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
It was another show where they did like a segment.
You ready?
Was it in Living Color?
No.
in living color.
No. You ready? It was the Tracy Ullman show.
That's right.
The
Yeah.
British
Oh.
lady. She goes, go home. Go. And they would, and some of the actors on that show did the voices, the original voices of Homer and all that. And then they just spun and got their own thing and just blew up after that. But yeah, no, there is some supernatural stuff going on with that show that allows them to do such accurate predictions, some cases decades in advance.
And you know this how?
Huh?
How do you know?
Just
No.
through watching
About The
the.
Simpsons?
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
everything
except
that's
for the
come-
way we know. Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, I'm just saying. Because they put a lot of Illuminati and ritual symbols in their stuff, or they'll make little comments. So someone's dabbling, and they're some of the most powerful people there. And we've come to find that some of our most powerful people we look up to are letting us down.
Yeah,
I
right.
know. I feel like I was a really big fan of Ellen, and now that
Yeah.
everybody is like saying all this stuff about her, it kind of hurts my heart because I follow her. I think she's so funny, and I'm drawn to her.
Yeah.
And then now I see her stuff, and I want to watch it, but then I'm saying no, I can't watch it. But it just makes me sad because you get to know the image that they're portraying. That's who I love, is that image. But we really don't know yet.
Well, I mean, what happened when you realized that all that time you were watching this show or this person you loved, you were watching her on a set designed as Epstein's Island?
Yeah.
I know, it's heartbreaking. It's hard.
Right.
Like my heart breaks. For
Is that her doing that, or is that the network doing that, or is that
No,
just
she's a handler. She's a handler.
Do you think she has a ankle monitor?
Yes, it's in a lot of
Yes,
pictures.
I do too. I'm gonna have to go with that too.
Look,
I believe that too.
Yeah, I do
Not-
too. I do too.
Then show us some like Oprah.
Yeah,
YouTube.
why with the long
Always-
pants all the
Always
time?
cross-leg every time.
Yeah.
chocolate bars? Where did that come from?
I got to say, I never liked it. Ellen DeGeneres.
Never liked Ellen,
And
really?
I never liked her, and I never liked Cosby. People when he had Cosby had his show was the #1 show in the world. I remember watching it. I just didn't find it funny. I didn't like him. There was something about him that really bothered me. So maybe it's some sort of intuitive feeling I had.
Well,
Yeah.
at that time in the world in America, we were all being MK Ultra. We were all brainwashed to wear those sweaters and be home on time, have your dinner, so you could watch the Cosbys, because that was the Ozzie and Harriet of that decade.
It really was.
This just occurred to me. I was just
Wait a
thinking,
minute.
okay,
What year? What? How old are you?
Advantages of having no hair.
How old are you, Doc? Say how old you are.
I'm
'Cause
a
I think-
couple years from my AARP card. I can't wait.
Because I'm like, I grew up in a different era then.
Yeah, no. I'm a kid of the '70s, the early '70s,
Okay.
almost '60s.
Okay, I'm an '80s. I was born in '80.
Okay.
okay,
But I
now-
still watch The Simpsons.
Yeah,
I was born in '60s.
Yeah, I'm a '60s.
76 here. But
Yeah.
okay, I was thinking about this the other day. So I watched the Saving Mr. Banks with you know who in it.
Hom Hanks or
Yeah.
Hom Tanks.
Home tanks.
Saving Mr. Banks. Yeah, so and then it occurred to me, okay, why this is just a thought that I had. In the past couple of years, he's played the most beloved, or like some of the
Yes.
most beloved people in the children's entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr.
Toy
Rogers,
Story.
Like, why is this? Like, he doesn't look like Mr. Rogers and Walt Disney, but why did they just suddenly cast these characters? This kind of just popped in my head. Have you seen recently the interviews with Tom Hanks? Oh, oops, not.
Home tanks.
You know who I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
and his lady person, and they're all in this. All these interviews are from the laundry room. Have you guys seen this?
Yes.
No,
I
they're
haven't
all
seen that.
from-
No.
They're all in this little cramped space that looks like a prison cell.
Stone slabs.
And
Yes,
people
Oh,
Stone
I
slabs.
did see that.
will
I did
ask
see
about
that.
it, and they'll say, "Oh, this is the laundry room." All their interviews are in front of the same white wall, and in front of the same little window thing.
Oh, this is what you were telling me earlier, Doc. This is what you were talking about.
About what? I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull up a video for him. What did you say?
He was talking about the Hom Tanks video where it looks like they're in a jail cell kind of thing.
Several
videos.
Guantanamo.
All the recent interviews for television are in the same little space, and even the interviewers will say, we're disappointed. We wanted to see. We thought you'd have a view of your really nice house, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, we're in the laundry room."
Did you also see when they returned to America from having been in Australia? Apparently, somebody looked at the registration and checked up the registration of the car that picked them up, and it was registered to the U.S. Navy.
Oh my God!
Very interesting. Yes, I heard that. That's very interesting.
Wow,
I did not know that.
I wanted to pull up this video real quick, just some of the audio.
Yeah,
and I can't find it now, but it's a clip where that guy is doing a little skit with a drink and a cigar, and he makes oh, there you are. I'm looking. You're over here. Makes reference to, it's great about being the top actor in Hollywood. They never question where I bury the bodies.
I did see that. I did see that video.
That's what find it. It's probably one in the documentaries. But let me just say this. We got the laundry rooms and all that, right?
Yeah.
I'm pulling this up right now so I can see it. But it's a Saturday Night Live episode with Tom or with Hom. And let me get to it so I know what I'm describing. If you notice in that, you have. Can anybody pull up a photo of that? I mean, can you guys do that?
Yeah.
On the video.
Yeah.
Okay. So that way we can all analyze this together.
The
right?
kitchen.
Okay.
So
I want you guys to notice now. I don't know which image you're seeing. I don't know if
Tom Hanks. Which video? Which thing you want me to bring up?
At home monologue. SNL. You can pull the direct one up, but they haven't taken it off.
Yeah, so really disturbing,
uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, okay, so you see that image, go ahead and you pull that up. And, 35 plus years in the entertainment industry, I just in case some of you really believe stuff, this is not real by me. I promise. But that's how good I am, right? Okay, look, notice how I've got no hair, which I notice every day. And
oh my God.
But I don't have any. But see, if I had hair, which I wish I had like a wig or something. Imagine this is like. No, it's not gonna
You're
work.
killing me, Doc.
Anyway, point is with hair and a green screen, it digitizes it for the trained eye. You go, oh, dude, this is green screen. So what do you do when you have to worry about that little glitch? I mean, when you're trying to pay attention to the details, you're going to make sure there's nothing there to bother. So you have a shaved head. Now, none of this SNL was not live. It was all pre-recorded, and they even talk about that because they have to do the editing and whatnot. And so this kitchen right here, let me ask you a simple question. The kitchen that you see behind Tom Cruise, is that the kitchen of the most expensive property in that Hollywood Hills which actually the home belonged to the lady that ran LucasArts? What's her name? Anyway, she worked with George Lucas. It was the most expensive house, and they bought it. Does that look like a kitchen in the most expensive house?
That looks like an apartment. Let me see it again. I can't see it.
You can't see it?
Just the kitchen that Tom's standing behind?
No, it looks like a little condo.
It looks like a bachelor pad. It's almost bigger than my kitchen. Okay, so
my kitchen is about that big. I live in a condo.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you're not saying that's your house. Look at the phone over on the Nook.
All right, let me see it again.
It's on the far left. Oh, maybe it's not in that image. Shoot. Well, hold on to that image. We'll work with that image right there, okay? Because that's another thing. We'll try to find another image that shows the other side. But I have like a wide image from YouTube. That's where I'm getting my image from. but it's like government military phones, digital phones.
Oh, I can't see anything though.
It's right next to the coffee and the little breakfast dish tray thing. But looking at the right,
This one? Let's see. Nope, that doesn't have it either. They must have cleared all that out of there by now. I'm sure.
yeah, I have a shoot. I have no way of sending it, but anyway, if you get
You can
to see
send it in
there.
Facebook.
Now, look,
Facebook.
Yeah,
This
you
one-
can share your screen too, Doc.
how do I do that?
You just look on the bottom of your screen, and the when the thing pops up, it'll say share screen.
Oh.
It's a little green button.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay. All right. So
That'll work.
So oh wow, I can do this. All right. So share. Uh-oh, what happened?
Oh, there you go. I see it.
Okay, do you see over here on the left? There's that
Yes.
phone. Okay, now look at the door on the right that's leading into this supposed kitchen. You don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
doors like that. Look at the
Actually, it's
hinges.
a double door.
That's
It's
military
a double
grade.
door on the left side. On our left,
Uh-huh.
I saw another shot where there's another door.
Right, and I was going to get to that. I was
Yeah.
going to get to that. Let me see if it shows it anymore in here. Coming through. Okay, so also there's supposedly at one point there's somebody back here in the corner in this little nook window by the sink. Supposedly at one point, but I haven't seen that. Anyway, point is, in the original big shot that's not edited for Saturday Night Live, it shows that government door on the left and the government door on the right.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
behind him, what you see, that kitchen, everything. Now the wall where the light switch and everything, that's legit. But from there over, green screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now who is the guy? I keep looking over here. The guy.
I can see green. I can see green underneath, behind the coffee pot too. That looks odd to me.
I can
Yeah,
see
I
it. I
don't
can
see
see a
it.
jar of Vegemite
Yeah,
to the left.
yeah. The green is the color of the wall on
Okay.
that back wall of the kitchen.
All right. Okay.
I see it. I see it.
Okay. But the point is, there's no shadows when he's moving around. And so there's a door. You see what's on the door on the right. There's another image where there's also one on the left. So they're saying this is Jimmy, his brother, who does his voice for all the TS story movies, all the toys and everything. He does all the voice work. He does all the computer games, all the little commercials and whatnot, because the other guy is so busy doing stuff. Now you take him and you take the new technology, it's called deep fake, where they can take a celebrity's face and put them over another person's face. Ba-boom. Now, also, he says in this monologue that he had to shave his head for a movie. Now, the images where he's in quarantine with his wife, government facility or not, he's got hair.
Oh yeah,
It's not
that's
shaved.
right. That's right.
So he just said, well, I got to shave. Well, you're not doing the movie. Of course. But now they're saying he's in Austria filming another movie. But here's my question to all of you. How did Tom Hanks get from Australia to LA and then LA to Austria if commercial flights are canceled? And it's government
good question.
flights only that are allowed to fly? That's all I'm
Yeah,
going to say. I'll leave it there.
I know.
I don't see the deep fake thing because I've seen deep fakes, plenty of deep fakes, and I don't know. I have not seen it that good. Like as a artist, those things stick out to me. I just don't see it. That looks like Tom Hanks.
Well,
I've seen his brother, and you can see his brother and go, well, yeah, he looks like Tom Hanks, but I don't know. In my
there it
mind,
is. There it is.
Unmistakable.
There's a glitch with his neck.
Yeah, I've
People
seen
keep pointing
that.
out.
It's just an old guy.
Possibly. Well, there's good I keep looking at that. There's good footage of little videos, people explaining and pointing out a lot of stuff. Like the other thing is his ear. Okay, his ear pattern from his photo or press photos and everything, where he's like sitting there all class. You see his ear, and it's a certain pattern. But you see the ear of the Tom Hanks here and at in the car photographs.
Yeah.
The ear's different. And while you see his SUVs,
That's one thing I kind of noticed.
Why do the kids? Why are they all wearing backpacks? School's not in session.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of videos like that I've seen.
Oh, there's also the one where Rita. There's the photo where they're supposedly getting into the car, but there's a photo where Rita's face has been photoshopped into the photo for the for a newspaper article. But you can find the original photo. It's the same exact photo, but without Rita's face in there. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on. I don't buy the
him in the
fake
ball
thing or the double thing, but there's definitely something going on. Was that?
I think Doc's trying to
supposedly in Australia with the Wilson ball that he was given by the nurses, supposedly. It's photoshopped. It's him from another image where he was, out in public with the ball, and they took that and put it in the hospital shot.
Yeah, they're definitely doing some manipulation out there. Absolutely, I've seen some of that stuff. It's so
weird
obvious.
is going on. Yeah. With those two, and
you could say it's all very eerie.
I think it makes. I think it's just every time these people come into public, I go, yeah, something is up. Like something is up with these people. Something's wrong. Something's off.
Just intuitively, without even analyzing anything,
That monologue was very sad. It was not funny. It was very dark, and he said things like, "Well, we'll try to be funny anyway."
Really? I didn't even watch it. I got to go back and watch some of this stuff. I haven't had time to go through all that. But that right there has got to tell you something's going on. It's almost like he's sending a message to other people too. Like, why would you go out in an SNL skit and be all depressed, unless you're sending a message to someone?
Yeah, to me,
your brothers in prison or been put to death. For the tribunal. And then you have Rita putting out all the cryptic messages with Ender's Game Book and little messages, and then
she put her phone number out for people to call her, all kinds of weird stuff. Like,
David Spade saying, if Tom Hanks don't make it, we're all screwed. He's trying to tell all the the chromies that, hey, if he don't get through it, we're all screwed. Because Weinstein squealed like a pig. Epstein squealed, and it's just a house of cards falling. Amen.
Well, if they did squeal like a pig, that means somebody has the information, right? Or do they also get rid of that, you think? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's happening is there, people are going to, most of it's going to be military tribunal. So, and there will not be any kind of press allowed at all. That's why nobody was fully aware of the tribunals with Pres B Senior.
Right.
Before they had the, God, am I the only one that just thinks that funeral was the most awesome Godfather live action movie film?
That was unbelievable.
Over and over again.
Yeah, envelopes and laps.
The envelopes and laps. That was the best. That was the best. I mean, the looks on their face. I've never seen anybody so surprised in my life. Like they're like, what's this? But then again, now it's like they're acting like nothing ever happened. So, like, what happened between the time that they get those envelopes and now that you see, people coming out of the woodwork? Obama's suddenly coming out and helping the political side of the arena there, and
he's doing those secret meetings with the UN and stuff where no American officials are allowed. I mean, he's doing nasty stuff, and then he knew about those phone calls, so. That's why they're saying Obamagate now.
Did you see the picture
all these
coming
Democrats? Oh, poor things.
Did you see the picture that was recently alleged to be what was in the envelopes?
Yeah, no. It says they know everything. I'm sorry. Signed, George W. Bush.
That's right. Yeah.
Really? I didn't hear that.
God.
Hold on. Yeah, no. I used it as my.
Yeah, I heard
my
that.
Oh, we
thing
have to see this. We have to see
Oh,
this.
hold on. I'll pull it up for you.
Okay, awesome.
I know. Doc's got to go and get his next show running, but
Oh no, no show tonight.
oh, no show tonight. Okay, good.
I do one show a day. This counts.
All right, cool.
Let me get this.
Good thinking.
Here we go. All right, put that there, and then I want to get the share screen thingamajiggy,
Yeah.
and let me blow it up a little bigger so it's full screen. So, hey, it could be photoshopped, but damn, I could understand why their frowns turned upside down. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Click and share, right?
Yep.
Actually, do it like this. Boom. There you go.
Oh, wow.
I love it. I love it.
Oh,
So I'm not
my
saying
God.
that is officially what was in their envelope, but that is what's out there, and I had to grab it.
Yeah. This is what we all hope was in there, at least.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
actually, I
I'm
for
sorry.
a while I thought it said something. You know, each one had probably their own little thing, but I was pretty sure that one of them was going to say, "Sorry, Arlington's closed." You know about Arlington, right?
Arlington Cemetery.
Did you know about it?
I don't
No.
know. I don't know. I don't get it. Tell me.
Okay, remember? Okay. Deep underground military base. She wanted to where it'll never get bombed. Where do you put it? Under Arlington Cemetery.
Okay.
And that's supposedly is the Black Hats headquarter that we took back before the funeral.
Wow.
Just a speculation. Don't have the facts on it.
Yep.
That's just
This
what
is
I
like
learned.
Speculation Saturday all over again.
I know. Did you guys like that? This is how Speculation Saturday should be. All of us together
Yes, right.
doing that.
Right.
And then I came up with Think Tank Thursday night. So
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ways to heal the world.
Yeah, right. Now, there's
So-
plenty of healers out there, too, that do some amazing work.
So let me get rid of that real quick. Get back to normal here.
Yeah, we're coming up
So-
on the...
I have a
That was a-
question for everybody.
Okay.
Just to throw it out there, like everything that you guys are involved in, how is your life as far as working at a regular job affected?
What is this thing you speak of?
Like I'm asking, like, okay, for instance, for me, I work in the corporate world, and
so that's a career, not a job, which is just over broke, right?
yeah. Like, how do you guys keep, going, knowing that one of your, I guess some coworkers are going to find out some of the stuff that you're doing? Like, how do you guys cope with that?
Guys, go ahead.
Yeah, I know you're not asking me that question. So
Yeah.
there's two of us left.
I just show as much leg on the street corner as I can and hope for the best.
Well, I'm saying this because I work for a corporate office, and I have almost like, if they find out the stuff that I'm talking about, I think I may possibly lose my job
Yeah, I think
because of the things they talk about.
it goes with the territory. It's kind of like with Corey. What Corey said is, people are all mad at him about trying to make money at what he's doing by coming out with his testimony. But here's the thing about that. The man gave up his career. He gave up his job. He gave up his life for telling his story, telling his truth. And I think people need to keep that in mind, because it does. I mean, if you're in technology like I am, same thing. I mean, it could come around on me at some point. I don't know if it will or not,
Well,
but it's
Let
like,
them know what you do. I mean, not who you work for, but what you do. Let them know, because I don't think everyone knows.
oh yeah, I work in IT, so I'm a software engineer. So I'm in the corporate world. Definitely.
Computer programmer. You
Computer
write code.
programmer. Yeah, I write code. Yeah. Do that sort of thing.
Sexy.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the same kind of industry that Corey was in. He was doing, something similar. That he was doing networking, security, and technologies, and different things like that, virtual machines, all that. And when people find out you're talking about those subjects, they think, well, okay, we can't have a person who seems to be unstable or whatever working for us. So you end up getting blacklisted. And so I mean, I'm at a point in my life where whatever happens. I feel like doing the right thing is the most important thing. You know, we all have to stand up and take a stand and do what's right and share our truth, our own personal truths. And I still have a big part of my story to share. I haven't shared publicly yet, and that will be.
I can't wait till you share your
future.
Story.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it's it's going to be. I'm going to have to ease into it because of the same reasons we're discussing at the moment. But so I'll know when the time is right to tackle that. But for now, I think we're doing a good job just bringing people together who are already doing this work, and. And the thing of it is we can't hoard like Doc was saying. If we have somebody that's on our show that has some good information to share, we definitely want to share it with one another. And the more avenues that people have, like Doc, to come out and share their own story or their information, because right now it's like whack-a-mole out there. They're trying to take people off of these networks and taking their whole channels down. And if we have more and more people doing this, then it makes it a lot harder for them to do it on a mass scale. Because if they take everybody down, they're just going to be hurting their own business. So the more people we can get into doing this work, and there's a lot of technology and things to work out behind it. Even in my own free time as a technologist, like some of the stuff doesn't work the way that it should. So it takes a lot of extra effort and time to go through all of that. And but I think we all need to do our part and come together and bring people together and share our stories and be courageous enough to do that. And I think everybody in this chat has done that.
I'm in a fortunate position now. I'm in the fortunate position now when I don't have to work for anyone else. So I'm an author. But what I found is with my life, people who don't really fit in are beginning to disappear. New people are beginning to come in. So I've got a whole new set of friends now that are open to this. A few of the people that were more open to information are now beginning to get on board with it. So people are changing. But a lot of those that have closed minds, that don't want to know, are slowly disappearing from my life. And I'm happy with that. I think it's time that we really do have to step up. You can't sit back in the shadows anymore and just watch everyone else do it. We need to really do our own bit. And if it means stepping out, and it does mean you're going to lose some of your old friends, then so be it.
Well, I got to say something that I remember when I was working in the office, and I was in this big, gigantic building with all these windows and this massive table with all of these executives sitting there talking about numbers. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at everybody saying, you guys have no idea what's going on in the world. All you guys are doing is focusing on numbers and customer service and how we can make more money. And then I'm just like looking at them saying, you guys have no idea.
World. It's a whole different world. Yeah, they're so caught up in their own programming and their own system. I mean, everything revolves around money and making a buck.
Well, yeah,
the money magic system.
They're always just trying to get ahead. I see all my coworkers kissing the boss's butt to try to get ahead in life and to try to do whatever it takes to make more money. And I'm saying, wow, I can't believe that. First of all, I can't believe I'm doing the same job as they are, but yet my mind works differently as far as what I believe and what I know.
Yeah.
Well, I remember that video too that your company made, Desiree, and it was like each person was saying, "I'm doing this," or like, what was it?
I'm staying home for my company. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so you just have to go along with the program. You have to go along with the narrative.
Yeah, that's
the one that says, "I'm not doing that video."
Yeah, that's exactly like if you guys would meet me at work, you guys would have no idea what I've been through or what I'm involved in because I don't talk about it with them. I go into a different zone and I'm a different Desiree when I'm with them versus when I'm with you guys. But I have to because I'll be labeled as crazy.
Yeah. You have to play the part sometimes, in society, and it's like that. even let's say you have a boss you don't agree with. Sometimes you have to play ball. It's just because you have to do it to survive, not because that's your personality or that's how you are. As a person.
Northern like what you said too, Desiree. I don't have a 9 to 5. I work for Corey, and but I do have. I mean, I built my social media following on my traditional art stuff. So on my drawing and painting and teaching, and I'll put something out there, and I'll just completely get mobbed. I'll put out. I'll put out my posts, generally my Q stuff and my SSP stuff, to a certain select group of people that aren't going to do that. Every once in a while, I go, you know what? I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to stand up and say, hey, I'm not standing for this, And I get smacked down to where I lose friends. Yeah, I lost two people I considered very good friends last time I came out and spoke my mind about this.
But you lost friends, but you've gained friends.
That's true. I did get
if I wasn't in this community, I would not know who you were.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is I'm making friends that are a lot more aligned with the way I see the world. But it
still hurts.
Not risk-free. I put myself out there.
Yeah, it still hurts to lose friends. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and it hurts my career somewhat. I won't have these people. It'll be very awkward to go to another portrait conference.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you take a risk, and the reason you do it is because you feel it in your soul. You feel it's the right thing to do, and that's definitely commendable. It's something that we have to do. I mean, it's time for all of us to stand up and not just accept life the way that it is, because it's just not right to do that. Too many people are suffering. Too many people are losing their lives. Too many people are being tortured. Too many people are being, taken advantage of, and it's got to stop at some point, And
how's my video? Do I look choppy to you guys?
Yeah, everyone's choppy. I'm still going to have to figure out my technical problem. I think I'm going to switch over to OBS and try that out and in the future, because this software, I have no idea. I tried calling them on it, and they're not giving us any help. So it's going to take a few.
Again, Steve, you've got green hands.
It's going to take a few things, but Doc gave me some pointers and some things to look into, so I'm gonna do that next.
Because OBS it's free, and you don't have to buy anything extra. And you can have your graphics, you can have your banners, and bring in your video, and just screen grab your Zoom, and you're good to go. So
yeah, see, that's what I'm doing. I'm screen grabbing the Zoom, but for whatever reason, their screen grabs are always slow. And I've tried all the settings. I try to make sure all the settings are correct and all that to their specification.
Put it on you. We want to see
on me. It's fine. Yeah, but the thing is, no one else can see you, so that's why.
That's okay. Yeah. It'll pop up when we talk. That's the beauty of Zoom.
Well, no, I'm doing it through Wirecast, my production. So I have to, in order to switch to you guys, I have to put it on the active broadcast feed.
That's why I think we all need assistance. Because someone to run the board while we're just doing our talking.
Exactly.
It's distracting, and you can forget. I forget all the time. What was I saying? So I miss having a crew.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm trying to do all of it myself, but
can I put in a little plug for our summer event?
Absolutely, yeah. That should be a good thing to end on.
I was going to do that too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm designing the T-shirt for it. Throughout this show, I've been designing the T-shirt. I work while I'm doing this. I don't know if it's a show or what, but while we're doing this. Yes, if there are people out there listening to us, even if you're not listening to us, there is still an event this summer that that I think a few of us, if not all of us, will be attending. And Desiree and I will be presenting. It is called Camp Disclosure, and it is in the Asheville area of North Carolina. And it is between August 27th and August 31st. And it is, there will be kind of camp-like events. I think there will be that sort of stuff going on, but and campfires and music circles and swimming and all that sort of fun stuff. But there's also a fancy hotel and there's speakers, and it will be headlined by James Gilliland of E-City Ranch.
That's fantastic.
We'll have speakers such as Desiree Foley, such as myself, such as Alex Bloom, Simon Essler. Who else do we have, Desiree?
Oh, I think she's
I'm
left
gonna mute
us.
myself.
Oh, there she goes.
You said Simon Matthew.
Matthew.
There's going to be
Morgan.
Alex Bloom. What's his name? Richard. Is his name Richard or Roger? Roger Richards.
Roger Richards, yeah.
Let's see who else. I can't even think
Simon
of who else.
Essler. You got Matthew Morin, Seal Walco, who
Yes.
Yeah, Seal Walco, Alex Bloom.
So some regional people and some people that we're bringing in from other places.
Yeah.
So the tickets are being sold at you can buy the tickets at campdisclosure.com and like our Facebook page as well.
You still got speaking spots available? Were you full up?
Well, we might, yeah.
Because I got one in particular.
It would actually be awesome to have you. It'd be awesome.
Oh, I wasn't talking.
I will.
I was in booking mode. I was pimping out my friends. I wasn't thinking about me.
Got it. Okay, but I don't know. Actually, I can talk to people. Who are you thinking?
Brooks Agnew. Dr.
Okay.
Brooks Agnew.
Yeah,
Dr.
I don't
Brooks
know.
Agnew.
I know that name, but I don't know who it is. I'm sorry.
Oh, you guys don't know who Brooks Agnew? Okay, Brooks Agnew. Oh my gosh. Shoot. He's the expert on the Hollow Earth. He's the one leading the North Pole Inner Earth expedition that I'm going on.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
2022. And he also created like an earthquake in a lab and got some trouble. He created the first electric pickup truck. He's actually mentioned in the new Godzilla movie when Godzilla disappears off the radar and they're in a booth place like this. And one of the guys, the scientist, says, Dr. Brooks was right. The Earth is hollow. And that's the only time they mention him. There's no character. There's no previous. But he said, he's like, look, I'm in the movie. You know?
About that.
So, yeah, I don't. But anyway, he's in that neck of the woods. So that's why I was just curious.
Well,
I'm always pimping out my friends to do events to help them get their
I
money.
feel like he may have come up. I will ask them about.
Yeah, that's Brooks right there.
There he is. Patent engineer and 6-time Amazon best-selling author of 9 books, widely featured in numerous scientific documentaries. He's an internally acclaimed lecturer in energy manufacturing and quality improvement while working on numerous Fortune 100 companies. He is currently the host of X Squared Radio, where you can find him 3 days a week talking about amazing mind-expanding science, technology, and life. So that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you know if his name has come up, Desiree? In our group,
I haven't heard of him.
Okay. I feel like I have heard them mention him.
You've heard him. He's been on Coast to Coast AM, Ancient Aliens, all those big shows.
Yeah.
Documentaries, and he is probably one of the kindest souls and just so wise. You just go ahead and talk, doctor. You know, he's awesome, and we've actually partnered up. One of his book series is called Birth, where he writes.
Yeah, I've listened to one of the books in that series.
Yeah, Bert. Yeah, and it kind of correlates with Trump. I mean, before Trump ever came into the picture, he basically predicted it all. And so he came to me and said, I want to make Earth into a movie or a TV series or something, and I want you on board. So we partnered up, and we were going to start working on it, but then this lockdown thing happened.
Are you going to have an event this year, Doc?
It is still a go as of today. July is the month that I'm putting down as if stuff's worse or if it hasn't gotten better, we may push it forward. That'll give us a few months time to rearrange things and whatnot.
Because I don't live too far. I live in Arizona.
Oh, well, you mentioned North Carolina. I thought maybe you were over in that neck of the woods.
No, I live in Arizona, so I know that your next event that I'm going to definitely go.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah, definitely come up. It's at the Honda Casino Resort. That's HON-DAH. It's Apache. Apache name, not the car.
Right.
And it's in Pine Top, Arizona, and it'll be Saturday and Sunday, October 3rd and 4th. All the information, the tickets, the schedule, everything, the lineup is at disclosurecon.com. And if you weren't able to make last year's event where we had some major people, Laura Eisenhower was there, Rob and Ben were there, they got some information. We had Brooks Agnew was there. We had Joel Christopher Payne from Disney, who created the Friendlians Network and Growums. Because the idea was what if you took an alien UFO conference and a Comic-Con and collided them under one roof, sci-fi and sci-reality colliding, and showing, because I've been in the entertainment industry, how basically entertainment has been soft disclosure for decades in so many realms. So I wanted to show that, the marriage, and you being an artist, I would love to have you there, we had Travis this year. This year is the 45th anniversary of Travis Walton's Experience. If those that don't know, Fire in the Sky was based off Travis Walton, the lumberjack.
I remember that story.
Yes, and
I've seen some of his interviews. I've seen some of his interviews after that too, and boy, I mean, he's really still feeling it after all these years.
Here's the thing: if all of you can traverse your way in this direction, I will personally introduce you all to him, as well as his family, the lumberjacks that are still alive, and possibly the sheriff that was involved all in that event. They're all going to be on stage at one time, and we're going to watch his documentary called The Travis Walton the Experience, or the event. And the director will be there as well. It's a huge like theater movie screen, so it'll be legit. But we'll have it. Let me just pull this up real quick, and I'll show you.
Sure.
So
yeah, that would be great.
Close. Where is that? I need to close that out and open up another window. Pull up Disclosure Con, and I should bring this over to this window so I can screen grab it.
I would love to go if I could escape from Australia.
That would be great, dude. We should all try to plan to try and get there.
We could have a big party, everybody.
Going for sure.
All right. So
I know it's probably a couple miles.
I must go then. I must go if you're going, Desiree.
Yeah, me too.
Check it out. And by the way, you have my permission to have any videos that I play here. But here's the talking panel. We had Mike Barra. This was the first year. Oh God, it just went blank. Josh Toms. This is the guy that wrote the book "A Devil and a Cup of Tea" about the Antichrist and the symbol of Prince Charles and all that. I just went totally blank on his name. Travis was here, but he was still signing autographs before we took this photo, so he hadn't been to his chair yet. And then next to them was Brooks Agnew, and he had a Starfleet Academy jacket that was just awesome. Myself, Joel Christopher Payne, and then Dave Loomis from MUFON. And that was from the first year. But this year we've got James Goodall, who worked on the SR-71 Blackbird and knows expert on Area 51, good friends with Bob Lazar and John Lear. Then we'll have Blake and Brent Cousins from Hawaii from Third Phase of Moon. They will be here. Wow. We've got John D'Souza, the original X-Man. He'll be here. Surprise headliner. And then we'll have a VIP after party only at the legendary Lodge Bar and Grill, which is a little off the chain. On Sunday, we've got a surprise guest, and then we got Mike Barra from Ancient Aliens, and then Travis Walton, Q&A session, dinner break, then VIP fireside chat in this beautiful location for all VIP members.
A real fireside chat. Wow.
Yeah, the real one. It's like the fireside is so massive. Yeah, so.
I can't wait for this.
Oh, check it out! People
be
pulled
amazing.
guitars out. And Travis was singing. We were all singing. It was fun. We had a great time. So we're gonna do it every year now. Let's see. Then we have, of course, the big party. Then if you're at this website, you can go to the first tab, which is all of the videos of the lectures from our speakers of 2019. So you can sit here and check out Kim Mann and Stacy Wright from MUFON, Arizona, and Phoenix.
That's the right way to do it. I like that you're making that available.
Not everybody I know can make it, but we were fortunate enough to get the video. Thanks to.
I'm saying that you share it later rather than charging it.
I don't sell. I don't sell it.
Yeah.
I mean, I sell mugs now and T-shirts, but I sold one, so that's about it. I've been doing this 5 years now, and I think I've made a total of $400. That was just from some donations a couple weeks ago. That was it.
Wow.
So it's not about the money, even though
It's not about the money. You're absolutely right.
It would be helpful. So, but here's the video on Brooks Agnew if you guys want to check that out as well. Laura Eisenhower, Brad Olson, and Emily Infinity, who just got back from their trip from Antarctica on a sailboat. Suzanne Ross, the founder and creator and host of SciSpy.tv. Paula Asteria, ufologist, rock star, model. She was there. Rob and Ben from Edge of Wonder. They did this amazing lecture. And then we had our talking panel the first night, which was made up of Natasha Nix from Mysterious Forces Live, Brooks Agnew from X Square Radio, Rex Bear from the League Project. I don't know if you guys
sure. Barry Littleton.
I forgot paranormal. He has a street name and I just lost it. But Paranormal in the Hood, and then Robin Ben, and then myself.
Paranormal in the Hood.
Yeah.
Let me just stop. I have to check this guy out.
Yeah. No, he's awesome. We had a great time. And then Don Phillips, who from the UK, #1 paranormal investigator. I mean, he's legit. And I got to go to Washington State to the the most haunted hotel saloon place in the state, and some crazy stuff happened. We shot that episode. Then Joel Christopher Payne, who is Disney's top artist in the world, came and talked about his new things for kids, which is this alien. Imagine Mr. Rogers, Sesame Street, the Smurfs, all rolled into a Furby from outer space. That's the Friendlands, teaching kids to be good. And I actually got to have a check on my bucket list. I actually got to be an official cartoon character in his show named Doc. And
no kidding.
All of them are happy-go-lucky except for Doc. I get to be upset and angry. It's fun. So my first lesson is how to be a good loser. That's my first lesson. So we showed that there, and that's in there.
So he's one of the good guys at Disney then.
Oh, yes, and he's brilliant. He's brilliant. He does some amazing stuff. But what's really fun about the event is when you go, you get your program book. You get a program that tells everybody that's going to be there and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I decided to take it up a notch. And come on, open up. Here we go. And so when you go in, you get a program book. And being an artist, Steve, I think you can really, if you want to participate in this. But I'm not an artist. Just let's get that out of the way. But I cartooned, their photos and stuff, and then we do a little bio on them so people know who they're going to see, and then a big X with their autograph. So then they get that, their plastic sheet. Now they go home with a collector's item.
Nice.
And this is my logo guy right here, the little alien guy, which was done by an artist who did Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then we had, this year's. So hopefully it'll be a collection. of really cool little comic books. So, Steve, if you're interested, and I'll put your business in there as an advertisement, whatever you want.
Right.
It's a great time. So if you can make it up here, it's awesome. And we have hotels up here. We got a couple hotels, but if you can get one of the cabins, they're not that expensive, and you get that real mountain experience.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's what I would do.
They got multiple rooms, jacuzzi tubs, patios, grills, the whole 9 yards. Whispering Pines Cabin Resorts is one of the sponsors of the event, and their cabins are just awesome. So check all that out. And then, get sponsors. There it is, Whispering Pines Cabin Resort.
There you go. Nice
location of the event. And then there's also tickets and VIP passes. VIP, you get in an hour early. You get a couple goodies. You also get to go to the VIP after parties and meet and greet at the Fireside Chat. So, because when you go to these conferences, people are standing there in line in front of the microphone waiting to ask their question, and there's a bunch of people behind them, and it's intimidating. And sometimes they'll lock up or they'll say the wrong question. They're like, "Oh, I wanted to ask that instead,"
Yeah.
This is a more intimate setting where everybody gets to just chill and relax, sit back, and we just mingle.
Yeah,
and
right. Like we're doing tonight.
We pull out bongo drums and guitars. So
nice.
It's a good time.
Yeah, and then whatever conversation happens is just spontaneous. It's not under pressure or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
And so, anyway, that's the website. You can go there and you can get your tickets as well. It's just a weekend pass, and then there's a weekend VIP pass. Trying to do all the individual tickets and different ages, it was just a hassle the first 2 years.
Yeah, right. There's just two. Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for that little plug. I appreciate it, but I hope that you will all be there. And you won't be able to. We can't broadcast live. The internet's not that great on the res, but we record and then we upload. So if you guys come out and you want to do some of your shows, you have a booth space available.
Awesome, great, excellent. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, I think on that note, we're at 2 hours and 22 minutes. I think we've done a great job of covering a lot of things and getting to know one another a little bit better. And so we'll end it here. We'll say goodnight.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Doc. This was great. Appreciate it. So good night, everybody. Yeah.
It's great to have you here with us, Doc. Yeah, I'm really pleased that you accepted the invitation.
Thank you.
You're a good man.
Absolutely.
Well, and this is my saying, as long as we lift each other up, we will all rise together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Amen.
Amen. God bless. And we'll see you all out there next time.
Good to see you.
We'll see you up on the mountain.
Yeah. All right. Bye now.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Love you.